Today's lesson is travel emergencies. Hi, everybody. My name is Roger.
And I'm Helen.
And today we're going to continue talking about things that might happen to you when you're traveling. Of course, we don't want these things to happen to you, and they are rare, but they do happen sometimes, and you need to be prepared. Now, last time, of course, Laura was traveling from Dallas to Denver, but she had a delay in Dallas, and therefore she had to take a later flight to get to Denver, and then she also had another problem with missing luggage. She's having all sorts of problems, isn't she?
Yes, she is indeed, and it seems like her troubles are going to continue, but we can learn from the first two situations, which is that if you're going to take a connecting flight, make sure that you leave enough time before your connecting flight departs and your arrival time, because sometimes delays will happen, and in the past when I had to book connecting flights, I always chose to stay at the airport and wait 2 or 3 hours for the connecting flight instead of having it booked right after I arrive. And as for the missing luggage, make sure that you put some kind of identifiable tag on your luggage or that your luggage is colorful so that you can recognize it easily, and that will make it easier to find and locate as well.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising how many people have black suitcases. That can happen quite frequently. People grab the wrong suitcase because they think it's theirs. So Helen's advice is well taken. Yes, make your bag look different. Make your suitcase look different with colorful ribbons or something, or some kind of tag, and then the chances of it getting lost will go down. But today, of course, we're talking about another problem. Sometimes you might get robbed when you travel, and of course that is a terrible experience to happen, and if something gets stolen, you want to get it back. So that's what's happening today. Laura is getting robbed, so let's find out what this is all about. Let's listen to the first part of today's lesson, and we'll be right back.
3. Getting robbed. Laura approaches the front desk at her hotel.
Excuse me, I'm staying here, but I was just robbed walking back from dinner.
Oh, that's terrible. Can I do anything to help?
Yes, please. Could you look up the number for my credit card company and the location of the nearest police station? I think I'll need to submit a police report to get my passport replaced.
Of course. What kind of credit card do you have?
Visa.
Okay, let me get the phone number and the address of the closest police station for you. Here you are.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Please let me know if I can be of any further assistance.
大家好，第一部分我们可以看到单字 submit， 这个字是动词，指的是提交或是呈递。例如 Jill has submitted a patent application for her design. Jill 为自己的设计提交了专利申请。或者 Ben submitted an application for the job opening. Ben 对该工作职缺提出了申请。
So in the first part of today's lesson, Laura approaches the front desk at her hotel, and the title is Getting Robbed, so that's exactly what happened to Laura. And she says to the front desk clerk, "Excuse me, I'm staying here, but I was just robbed walking back from dinner." So that's a terrible thing to happen. It's at night. Laura was just walking back from dinner, and this is what she says to the receptionist. Now, the receptionist is someone whose job is to receive visitors and guests at an office or a hotel. So you have a hotel receptionist. You also have an office receptionist at a law office or at a doctor's office. And that is the word for this kind of job and this kind of person.
Exactly. So sometimes American cities can be dangerous if you're in the central area at night. So be careful there, although it's probably not nearly as dangerous as being out at night in Moscow or places like that. But in any case, she says, "I'm staying here at this hotel. I was just robbed when walking back from dinner." And that's a terrible thing to happen. Can I do anything to help? The receptionist says, and Laura says, yes, please. Could you look up the number for my credit card company and the location of the nearest police station? I think I'll need to submit a police report to get my passport replaced. So usually if you lose your wallet or you are robbed, one of the first things you need to do is contact your credit card company, whether it's Visa or MasterCard or Diners Club or American Express or whatever. You got to contact them and tell them that your card has been stolen so that they can immediately cancel the card so the person who stole it cannot buy massive amounts of jewelry or something like that.
Right, and Laura needs to submit a police report to get her passport replaced. When you submit something, you formally give something to someone so that that person can do something about it or make a decision about it. For instance, it's common to say that you need to submit your homework on time or you need to submit the report to your boss. So it's formally giving something to somebody. And here, Laura has to submit a police report because her passport was stolen and she needs to go to the embassy and tell them that her passport was stolen. But the embassy is going to say, do you have proof that it was stolen? And the proof would be the police report. And that's why it's important when you're on holiday in a foreign country and you lose your passport or you get your passport stolen, that you go immediately to a police department to file a report.
The receptionist says, of course, what kind of credit card do you have? And remember, there are different kinds of credit cards out there, Visa, MasterCard, etc. And she says Visa. And the receptionist says, okay, let me get that phone number and the address of the closest police station for you. Here you are. So this is one of the duties of a hotel receptionist, to serve the customers if they experience emergencies. And so here the receptionist finds the phone number and the address of the closest police station, and then the receptionist gives that information to Laura. Here you are, here you go.
And Laura says, thank you. And the receptionist replies, you're welcome. Please let me know if I can be of any further assistance. So the receptionist is being helpful and being polite. And that's a phrase that you will often hear from people who work in the service industry or in customer service. Please let me know if I can be of any further assistance, which basically means let me know if I can help you in any other way.
Okay, let's move on now and listen to her conversation with the police in part 4.
4. Talking to the police. Laura is speaking with a police officer at the police station.
So you were walking along South Colorado Boulevard near your hotel when the suspect accosted you?
That's correct.
Now, you estimated his height, weight, and age already. But were there any particularly noticeable aspects of his appearance?
No, it was dark, so I didn't see anything specific.
Understood. Unfortunately, it's not likely that we'll catch him anytime soon. But we'll let you know if there's a lucky break in the case.
I see. And can I get a copy of the police report?
Certainly. Please wait a moment while I make a copy.
接着第二部分，我们看到名词 boulevard 指的是林荫大道或是大街。举例来说 ，Most American cities have a large boulevard with houses lining it. 美国大部分的城市都有两旁房屋林立的大马路。又或者说 ，All along the boulevard are beautiful trees that are filled with flowers. 林荫大道两旁都是开满鲜花的美丽树木。再来，我们看到单字 estimate。这个字是动词，意思是估计、估量或是评估、判断。例如 ，Experts estimate the cost of the museum repairs to be around $10 million. 专家估计博物馆的修缮费用约为1000万美元。或是 I estimate that we will finish the work in 2 weeks. 我估计我们会在2周内完成这项工作。另外，这个字也可以当作名词，念作 estimate， 是估计或是估算的意思。举例来说 ，The mechanic gave me an estimate of $500 to fix my car. 技工开给我的修车费用预估为美金500元。又或者说 The estimate to get my car fixed turned out to be more than I could afford. 修理我车子的估价超出了我的负荷能力。接着我们看到单字 noticeable， 它是形容词，指的是显著的、明显的或是引人注目的。例如 Honestly, even if you were nervous, it really wasn't noticeable during your presentation. 老实说，即便你很紧张，在你报告的时候真的看不出来。或者我们可以说 There's a stain on your shirt, but it's not very noticeable. 你的衬衫上有个污渍，但并不是很明显。另外，去掉这个字的字尾 able 就变成动词 notice， 意思是注意或是察觉。像是 Bruce didn't notice that his passport was missing until he got to the airport. Bruce 到了机场才发现他的护照不见了。或者 Did you notice my new haircut? 你注意到我的新发型了吗？最后我们看到名词 aspect， 它指的是方面或是层面。我们可以说 Social media has become an important aspect of modern life. 社群媒体已成为现代生活重要的一面。也可以说The lack of money is only one aspect of the problem we're having. 缺钱只是目前我们遭遇的问题层面之一。
So in this last conversation, Laura is at the police station. She is talking to the police. And she is speaking with a police officer specifically about what's happened to her. The officer says, so you were walking along South Colorado Boulevard near your hotel when the suspect accosted you? And the officer is summarizing what Laura had already told him that we haven't heard. And the officer mentions that Laura was at South Colorado Boulevard. So a boulevard is a very wide road. It's usually a road that is lined with trees. And this word, it comes from French. And if you go to Paris, you'll find a lot of boulevards there. And here in Denver, there is a boulevard called South Colorado Boulevard. And Laura was walking along that boulevard when someone accosted her. When you accost someone, you approach that person suddenly and you start speaking to them, usually in an unpleasant or threatening kind of way, not in a friendly way.
Exactly. So this is where she was walking along South Colorado Boulevard. And then, of course, someone accosted her. And she says, yes, that's correct. That's where I was walking. And that's where someone accosted me, where they robbed me. And the officer says, okay, now, you estimated his height, weight, and age already. But were there any particularly noticeable aspects of his appearance? So first of all, of course, when you're robbed, you don't really pay attention too much to the person who's robbing you. So you kind of have to guess at these things. It says here, she estimated his height. She kind of took a guess as to how tall he was and how fat or skinny he was and how old he was. So she made an estimate there, or she estimated his height, weight, and age. But they need to know any unusual characteristics of his appearance, any noticeable aspects of his appearance. If something's noticeable, you can see it. It's not hidden. It could be a birthmark. It could be a strange-shaped nose. It could be a deformed face or something like that. Maybe his eye got poked out many years ago and he doesn't have an eye, or he's wearing an eye patch or something like that. Yes, this would be very noticeable. You would notice that, or you would see that.
Right. Now, going back to the word to estimate, it's usually a word used for numbers. When you guess the number of something, you can estimate the arrival time of a flight, you can estimate the price of something. And this word also has a noun form, which is estimate. So it's pronounced slightly differently. The verb is to estimate, and the noun is estimate. And when you estimate something, it's often based on information or knowledge that you already have. So when you want to estimate the price of a dinner, for instance, you can look at the quality of the restaurant, whether it's fancy or if it's fast food. So based on knowledge and based on things that you can observe, you can estimate the price or the number of something.
And also we've got this word aspect here. That just means a special characteristic or a unique quality of something. It could also be like a point of view, but in this particular case, it's referring to some kind of unusual characteristic of his appearance. Like I said, maybe a birthmark, maybe he walks with a limp or something like that. Noticeable aspects of his appearance.
Right, and as an example sentence with the word aspect, I could say, I love visiting countries I've never been to, but taking long flights is an aspect of travel that I don't enjoy.
Exactly. Yes, I hate flying for long distances as well. So again, the officer here is asking her questions about the robbery. Can you tell us of any noticeable aspects of his appearance? And Laura says, no, it was dark, so I didn't see anything specific. All I saw was his general height, his weight, and the fact that he was a male, etc. And the officer says, understood. What you said has been understood by me. Unfortunately, it's not likely that we'll catch him anytime soon, but we'll let you know if there's a lucky break in the case. So yeah, of course, it was a nighttime robbery. She didn't really see him very well, and there are a lot of men who fit that description, so it's probably unlikely that they'll catch that robber anytime soon. They might catch him in the future eventually if he does this more to other people, but we'll let you know if there's a lucky break. So here's the word break, and that just means something lucky happens to you, usually when something bad has happened to you. This is a common phrase. If somebody is annoying you, you can say, oh, give me a break. Give me a rest from your annoying behavior. And in this particular case, a lucky break means, hey, they might catch the guy and you might be able to get your purse back, your passport, your credit cards, and you'll be able to see this guy go to jail.
Right, and considering the fact that Laura has had so many negative things happen to her during this trip, she really does need a lucky break, a break from all of the misfortune that she's been having. And Laura says, I see. And can I get a copy of the police report? She needs the police report to bring to the embassy to get her passport reissued. And the officer replies, certainly. Please wait a moment while I make a copy.
Indeed. So, gee whiz, Helen, it looks like traveling to the USA can involve all sorts of hassles. Maybe next time Laura should consider traveling to Canada instead. Okay, that brings us to the end of our explanation for today. It's time now to turn things over to Hanny, our beloved Chinese teacher.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。在课文第一部分的对话里， Laura 在吃完晚餐走回饭店的时候遭遇抢劫，她请饭店接待员帮她查信用卡公司的电话，还有最近的警察局的位置。那么 Laura 她用到片语 look up， 我们用 look up something 或者是 look something up 可以表达查询查阅某事物，像 look up a word in the dictionary 就是在字典上查单字。好，那如果是不及物的用法 look up 它可以表达情况好转，渐有起色，意思就相当于 improve 或者是 get better。 那我们补充一下，如果你说 look up to somebody 则是表达敬仰某人，例如 Frank has always looked up to his oldest brother。Frank 一直都很敬仰他大哥。好，那么接着 Laura 她说呢，我想我会需要提交报案单才能更换新的护照。那么文中是用到动词 submit 来表达提交，我们来学它的字首字根。好，看到 MIT 或者是 MISS 这一类字根有送出或是投射的意思，像 missile 这个飞弹导弹这个字啊，我们就不难看出它的字根有投射的意思了。好，那在 submit 这个字当中，它的字首 SUB 表示下方，那么字根 MIT 表示送出。同学们可以试着想，东西从下属下位者呈送上去，呈交上去，这样应该可以联想到 submit 它有提交、呈递或是服从的意思。我们顺便补充几个这一类字根的单字。第一个是 emit， 它的字首 E 表示向外或是由内向外，那么 MIT 表示送出、投射，合在一起 emit 它具有发出、发射、散发的意思哦。好，那么第二个补充的是 omit， 它的字首 O 是源自于 OB， 那只是因为 B 碰到 M， 它被同化而省略了。那么 O 在这边是做强调用。那么 MIT 这个字根就有 send 送出，或者是 let go 有那种放行啊释放的意思。我们把东西放掉，应该就可以联想到 omit 它有遗漏、省略或删除的意思咯。第三个补充的是 remit， 它的字首 re 表示 back 回，那么 MIT 表示 send 送出，合在一起其实就是 send back 送回来。同学们就可以试着想，一个人他原本应该要付出的代价，他的刑责呢被退回来了，那就表示他的处罚或者是债务被免除了。所以 remit 这个字就有赦免啊或是免除的意思。而这个动词还有一个常见的意思是汇款，它的名词是 remittance， 就表示汇款或是汇款额。好，再看到第四个补充的是 dismiss， 它的字首 dis 表示离开远离，那么字根 miss 同样也有 send 或是 let go 的意思，那把人送走，把他送远离，应该可以联想到 dismiss 它有解雇、解散的意思咯。以上是今天重点整理，我们来回顾今天单字吧。
Submit. The author submitted her story to the magazine for consideration. Estimate. The pilot estimated that the flight would take about 6 hours. Noticeable.The change in Julie's attitude after the argument was noticeable. Aspect. The training program improved several aspects of Rosa's health.
Well, everyone, today's article has come to an end, and I sure hope you enjoyed reading along with us. I am Roger.
I'm Helen.
See you next time.